Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Nothing But the Truth with me, your host, Reverend Dr. Allen Dillon, presidential candidate for 2028. I want to apologize to you guys for being a little late on my post, but I didn't have a voice until yesterday, and so I thank you guys for your patience and still tuning in. Now, I want to jump right in here because there's a lot of important things that we need to cover and a lot of important topics that you guys should really be aware of and concerned with. First thing that I want to ask you guys is, are you aware that America is still under a state of emergency and threat? This is considering and regarding the southern border and the so-called invasion that is taking place, and to where troops have been mobilized and that they've been given the green light to repel them by any means necessary, where drones have been sent, everything else. Now, here's my problem with that, is that Vance, who's supposed to be the vice president and supposed to be head of foreign affairs and taking care of these kind of things, why is he not there making sure that everything is being done legally and all of that? Rather, instead, he's been meeting with and has been sitting down and in talks with, and I believe he's been in Ukraine as well as talking to the president of Ukraine, along with the Secretary of State. So how can he be two places at once? How can he be dealing with two major issues at once? Here's the thing, he can't, because it's impossible for any of us to be in two places at once. So how and who is regulating everything going on at the southern border? And my other question is, when it comes to the southern border, who exactly is the target? Who exactly are they repelling? By what means are they using to repel? I mean, they've already been given the green light to use deadly force. So my question is, does this also give the green light to kill children? Does it give the green light to kill women, unarmed people? I mean, last time I checked, the only time that American troops are allowed to engage with any kind of opposition is when there is a viable threat and when the other person is armed. Now, if they're targeting maybe armed coyotes or cartel members and stuff like that, I can kind of see where they're coming from, but the same rules apply, is that by the laws of our military factions, is that no soldier is allowed to engage unless there is a credible threat, which means that unless a weapon is pointed at them or that any kind of soldier is in some kind of harm's way, people are not allowed, they're not allowed to just randomly engage and shoot at whoever they want, whenever they want, however they want, because that is the same thing that's going on over in Israel, to where they're bombing and shooting innocent people. It's the same thing that Putin's doing, bombing, killing, and taking out innocent people. But rewinding back to Israel, now, as of right now, are you guys aware which I'm sure you are because it's not been a secret. It's not even been, you know, even whitewashed or even sugar coated. It's the fact that Trump has authorized Benjamin Netanyahu to remove all Palestinians, all Palestinians, whether combatants, non-combatants, people who, it's their homeland, it's where they were born and raised and everything else. He's literally having Israel do the dirty work of clearing out the Gaza Strip so that way Trump can plant the American flag there the same as we did when we landed on the moon. Here's the problem, is that the moon, okay, that was us being there first. Planting a flag in the middle of the hub of the Muslim culture where we already had a 20-year war. I mean, is it me or only me that thinks that this is absolutely crazy and ludicrous that we have a sitting president who is acting like Putin, acting like Hitler, acting like Napoleon, acting like Stalin, to where taking over an area or country and claiming it as U.S. territory when it does not even belong to us, nor do we have any legal basis whatsoever for even claiming this territory. And that's a problem for me because for somebody who claims that he's not a wartime president, well, he seems to be following the Project 2025 handbook to a T, because not only is he given the green light for Netanyahu to clear out all of the Gaza Strip from all Palestinians, so that way America can plant their flag there and God knows what, but this is against the Geneva Convention. But hey, he already had America withdraw from that. So I guess just like Putin, he doesn't feel like he should have to stand up to it. He's also putting sanctions on the world court, people. The world court. You do understand that the world court is the one responsible for holding every single sitting powerful individual responsible for war crimes, for committing crimes against humanity and everything else. Not only that, he's given a green light to somebody who already has a warrant, actually multiple warrants, and has been found guilty of multiple war crimes and crimes against humanity to do his dirty work for him. Whereas he's committing an illegal action by taking and removing people from their sovereign nation, from their country, from their lands, where they have hundreds of years, thousands of years of heritage, and let's just put them somewhere else. But the problem with that is that, even the Palestinians that are in the Gaza Strip can't even return to Palestine because Israel has, taken over so much of that. It's like they're tag teaming in order to literally get rid of the Palestinian people. This is not something that we're supposed to be doing because Israel itself, Jerusalem itself, it is the hub of so many religions and the basis of so many religions. It's the fact that we have Christians, we have Muslims, we have the Jewish people, we have, those of other religions who, see this as, part of a journey, part of, kind of like Mecca is for the Islamic world. That is their way of paying homage to their religion and going, and doing this religious journey. But yet, we're going to be taking those people who've already been displaced in Israel from their homes, taking the Gaza Strip, and I guess sharing it with Israel. I don't know. But this is wrong, people. And if you don't see that, and if you're just going to sit back and allow this to happen, and, but this isn't just an anti-Semitic thing, because it's not just the Jewish people doing it. We have a sitting president who is allowing this, who has actually asked for their help in doing this. So what does that say about our country? That our sitting president and also the vice president and his whole administration is no better than Stalin, than Hitler, Napoleon, all those others who, sought to take over lands that weren't theirs, to conquer lands that weren't theirs, to claim a right to something that doesn't belong to them. I mean, this goes also, I'll use an example here in America, okay, which is about the Mayer family, because John Mayer, he was the last person to bring a slave ship into America. This was during the Civil War, and he did so on a bet, even though it was outlawed. Now, when he died, he obviously freed those slaves, everything else, and he gave them lands, and it was known as Africa Town. Well, then the Mayer lineage set out to shrink the acreage and historical lands that were given to these slaves. And they've paved over, historical grave sites. They've, surrounded them with commercial and chemical plants and everything else. But this just goes to show you that things have not changed here in America, nor our leadership, nor the thinking of those who believe that, America is supposed to rule everything, as well as those who are white have the unadulterated right to just do whatever they want. And I say this coming from a mixed heritage, and so I'm seeing it from multiple angles. I'm not just seeing it through, one set of eyes. I'm asking you guys to do the same, is to take the blinders off and see what's actually going on. See the people who are getting hurt. Look at the Native American people who right now, having a power outage. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. As you guys know, can't control everything. But just wanted to make you guys aware that, as I was saying, is that, look at what the Native Americans have been through, and what they're going through right now is the fact that Trump, he wants to rename a mountain up in Alaska from the, tribal and the actual native name that it was given back to Mount McKinley, because that was the first white American to crest it and everything up in Alaska. So this just goes to show that we have a real problem here, because we have somebody who is sitting in power who is abusing that power, especially trying to influence and trying to, lean on the world courts. Why? Because, one of their greatest prosecutors actually was able to prove Trump guilty of his own executive order of not abusing, um, you know, the not abusing power and not abusing, you know, and not interfering with, elections and things of that nature. He's already, like I said, set himself up for impeachment with that one. But right now, with what he's doing in with the Gaza Strip and his agreement with Israel, taking over somebody else's homeland is no different than what happened in Africa Town. It is no different than what happened to the Native Americans who are continuously fighting right now because of the pipeline that was shut down in the South Dakota, Montana area. Because if anything was to happen with that pipeline, instead of them moving it to where it does not interfere with, their, it's not even, their, I mean, it was their original territory, but, for the United States, gave them this reservation, for them to stay within their borders. They're supposed to be a sovereign nation, and yet the United States continues to use and abuse that whenever any kind of usable resources are found on their lands, which so was all America at one point, but hey, but it seems that they keep stepping in and stepping on the Native American people, same as they have stepped upon, everybody of ethnicity with trying to end the DEI. So, like I said, this is not just a one-time thing. This is somebody who is abusing their power and who is literally trying to take everything that has been historic, that has been already here prior to any of our relatives, whether it be from slavery or those who came here, to colonize. Here's the problem is that we continue to break the backs of everybody and step on everybody because, hey, apparently, as long as, your skin is light enough, as long as you have enough percentage, to be solely white, and deny any other heritage, apparently that gives you the privilege to do whatever you want. But yet, Trump, who's been found to have done this in the past, has also passed an executive order claiming that, nobody's allowed to bribe foreign nations, this, that, and the other, in order to, gain any kind of contracts, business, or anything else. Well, I guess now we know where, that this sovereign wealth fund will be going towards, because instead of it being, or people fighting for contracts across seas or anything else, I guess it's, going to return back to a monopolization, because everything about the executive orders that Trump has signed, everything just goes right back to him, to where if you're not kissing his feet or any other part of his body, then apparently you are not part of the solution. You're considered part of the problem. especially the fact of the 2.5 million emails that were sent out, the bulk email that was sent out, by Elon Musk and, by Trump's order, saying that, reducing the size of government, officials, government agencies, government employees, this, that, and the other. But who exactly and what agencies is he targeting? Because that's something that has not been shared whatsoever with the American people. Has anybody caught on to that yet? That we are sitting here and we are trying to figure out who or what this 2.5 million bulk email sent out is to affect. How many of you want to bet that it deals with DEI and the so-called competence hiring that he's ordered? Now, to me, that says that, but again, that competence order comes with strings attached, because that competence order also means that you have to, instead of pledge allegiance to this nation and be one nation under God, again, he's requiring you be one nation under him. Sorry, not happening in my shoes. And I know that there's a lot of you out there who are willing to fight this with me as we proceed, towards the midterms of 2026 and fight on to 2028. But the worst part of all this is Trump promised that this fund, that we're supposed to be, paying into and everything else, that he promised, told the American people, hey, we're getting TikTok with it. Now, Elon Musk comes along and all of a sudden he's saying, no, we're not going to buy TikTok. We're not going to do anything that has anything to do with TikTok. So my question here is, who exactly is running the show? Because it seems that Elon Musk, his power has already gone to his head, because not only does he has access to all of his competitors, all of his, contractors or contracts that he's fighting for, it also affects the fact that he's the one who is helping Trump make decisions. Now, last time I checked, nobody voted for Elon Musk. Musk bought his way. Now, it's funny how, Trump says that, officials and government agencies, this, that, and the other, are not supposed to be bribed. Well, it seems like, that's only fair as long as he's not included in that category, because Musk was a big donator, and look at him now. He has access to all personal information, all government contracts, all government spending, everything else. So, again, my question is, where does Elon Musk's power end? Where does Trump begin? Because it seems like they're two in one. That whatever Musk says to Trump, Trump's going to do. And Trump has given him unfettered access and unfettered power to be able to undercut and to be able to, stop, all this government spending, wasteful spending, and everything else. But here's my question. Is that, okay, yes, he's a billionaire. Yes, he's, but he, just like Trump, got to where he is off the backs of very intelligent people. I'm not saying that Elon's not smart, but he definitely played a smart move when he put himself in a position to where he now controls literally the United States, because he has, he knows where every penny everybody's social media, everybody's personal info, to where he has the highest clearance, which, I'm sorry, should not happen when, if you look into Elon's past, he didn't exactly play by all the rules that he was supposed to. This means that, he can undercut, Boeing's funding in order to send us back to the moon and beyond. This means that he can undercut funding to, all of the US aid that we provide to the, third, fourth world countries, and my question is this, is that how is he going, what is Elon going to do in order to either A, silence people, B, use the dirt or whatever he finds, because he's going to know every nook and cranny of all your lives, and that means every sitting elected person, whether it be federal or state or judge or anybody else. So he pretty much has unfettered access. So somebody with that much power, do you really think that Trump put him there by accident? No, he put him there on purpose, because his whole point is to gain as much knowledge as he can within the first 90 days when everybody else is to report back to him, because this is going to discern where Trump goes from there. I mean, look at where he sits already. The fact that he has signed 68 presidential orders and executive orders and mandates, and obviously, creating Doge, and again, which had lawsuits on other levels. But where is this information, and where exactly is this money going to be saved? Who exactly is at risk? And how is it supposed to benefit us? Because we were supposed to have, they're supposed to, what happened to his, price freeze promise, to where he would, lower all the inflation and the gas and all these other things. No, he's not doing any of that for us. So therefore, there's something that he's setting up, and he's using Elon Musk in order to get him there to where he needs it. And remember, he's only been in office less than 30 days, people. Less than 30 days. And still, he has signed more executive orders and mandates than he's tripled from his first one. Almost quadrupled what he did from his first term. He's tripled what Obama did. His first 100 days. And the thing is that he's got 68, hasn't even been 100 days. So again, where does it go from here? Where does it stop? I promise you, I'm fighting for you and with you. Help me with that fight, because together we thrive, united we stand, but separate we fall, and at war with each other, we fail. So I will catch you guys on Thursday. And in the meantime, may God, Yeshua, and the Holy Spirit bless you, your family, your friends, your loved ones, protect you from your enemies, protect you from the enemy. Shalom, shalom, and assalamu alaikum.